I gotta be honest with you guys. The very first time I went against Sigrun, she killed me at least 50 times. As a matter of fact, she killed me so many times I actually went to bed. I just couldn't take it anymore. And I think that's the equivalent of touching grass. Like, she killed me so many times I actually considered quitting gaming. Oh, that was I think to this day, she remains the toughest opponent I actually encountered in the video game. And yeah, so in today's video, I'm going to compare Gna and Sigrun to actually try to find out who is the strongest Valkyrie queen. And I actually would like to know what is your opinion on the matter, because again, I'm going to speak from my perspective, and I was playing on the hardest difficulty to give me God of War difficulties in both cases. And in my opinion, Sigrun is still the hardest. It's still the hardest. I'm going to tell you why. So stick around. What exactly made Sigrun so terrifying? Well, it is kind of weird that Sigrun was that difficult, because keep in mind, Sigrun is the equivalent of King Kraki. She has all the movesets of all the previous Valkyries you encountered before getting to her. So the hardest part about this fight, I mean, after dying more than 50 times, I figured, how to beat Sigrun. Basically, you have to map out every single move and have like those variations, because yeah, she does have all the moves of the previous Valkyries, but she can use them seamlessly, and that's how she can mess you up. Like Sigrun it's a lot. She also has a lot of health, like so much health that you could be going, you could be doing so well, and then when she's like one hit away from dying, you just take one hit and you die. Like, that fight is everything. It's Jesus Christ. It's like words can't describe how frustrated I was when I was against her. It was like, even if she was about to die, you were still sweaty. You were still sweaty because you knew you were about to fuck it up, and hey, you will most likely fuck it up because she's rough. And also keep in mind that at the time she was the last opponent I went against. I wanted this fight to be special, so I upgraded my gear to the max. I collected every single item. I wanted to be ready, and yet I wasn't ready. It is so weird. It is so, like, the difference between Gna and all those other bosses you fought before is so, like, the gap is so much that you don't understand how she actually made it into the game, and I love it. I love everything about Sigrun. So let's talk a bit about Gna and why I think she falls short. Well, first of all, there's an argument to be made that because you got some experience fighting Sigrun, it's easier to fight Gna. And I'm going to say that to a certain degree it is true, because you had to go plus ultra to defeat Sigrun. You had to like dive deeper into your inner you to be able to get the upper hand. And when it comes to Gna, you don't really have that much practice, because you only fight two Valkyries at once and that's it. So you don't have time to get familiar with her moveset. But even then, mind you, again, I was playing on the Giving God of War difficulty, the hardest one, and I didn't feel like I needed to get all, to figure out all the moves Gna had to be able to defeat her. And from the start, I was trying to beat her without getting hit. And I realized that if I wasn't trying to do that, I would have killed her way faster. And there's another thing which makes Gna kinda not as good as Sigrun. Remember that when we first went against Sigrun, we didn't have all those, awesome gear. Like, Zeus's armor wasn't a thing yet, so you had to get good. There was no way around. If you wanted to beat Sigrun, you had to get good, which is not the case. If you noticed, if you've been paying attention on the channel, I've posted so many builds now, and each one of them is relevant and is going to change the way you go against Gna. And mind you, this is not even New Game Plus, and you can kill her under 20 seconds. We had to wait for New Game Plus to drop in God of War 2018 to be able to, I'll say, destroy Sigrun. And I actually think there is a video on my channel where I beat her ass under a minute using only Agile Strike. Bless, I missed you so much, Agile Strike. Yeah. So I actually went fist only and beat her ass under a minute, which is in itself an achievement. Beating Sigrun in under a minute is an achievement. And then compare that to beating Gna in less than 20 seconds. This is so silly. But let's say for a moment that we forget about those crazy builds and you just want to rock the survival set, the normal build. Then you're going to see that Gna is not so easy, but even then she's not crazy either. I think the main problem when it comes to Gna is the fact that when you die, you don't die because she's too good. You die because you made a mistake. You were chasing so much, too much, and you got caught off guard, maybe performing a move you can't cancel. That's mostly, I gotta be honest, 9 times out of 10, when I get hit or when I die to Gna, is because I overcommitted to one thing I shouldn't do. Every single time. It's not because she outsmarted me. She can't. Like, she's basic. She's random. She's not that good. I mean, she thinks she's her, but she's not. And every single time I get caught off guard, it's mostly because I did something I shouldn't have done and it was too late. Whereas when it was with Sigrun, you could just stand there and just die. Like, she's so good. Her mix-up is so good, and you sweaty this whole time. You're sweating because you know you're going to mess it up. But when it comes to Gna, I'm actually pretty chill. It's all about not doing something you shouldn't do when it comes to Gna. Like, that's why I think she's very basic. Not as good as Sigrun. It's not even close, even though you don't even have practice. The practice you got from fighting all those Valkyries. So no, I really don't think Gna is that strong. And actually, I think the main reason why people die to her and struggle is because they don't know about some mechanics in this game. Mostly and mainly the fact that they can gain super armor. Let me explain. When you actually use multiple rank attacks in a row, you won't notice it unless you're paying attention, but there's going to be a little shield icon next to the boss's health bar. When it appears, it means that they cannot be staggered, and anything you do, which is not like using rage, because only rage can stagger them in this state. So if you don't know that, well, you might just commit to an attack and then get hit and wonder, wait, what just happened? Why am I getting hit? Well, they can get staggered, but knowing that every single time you just see that icon, you know that you cannot overcommit because you're going to get hit. And I remember that I had so many good runs which were just thrown out the window because I got hit performing a rank attack, which made me think that I just couldn't do that against Gna. I had to be very careful. But upon realizing my mistake, trust me, now I actually pay attention. And there's something else which bothers me, which makes the whole fight way harder than it has to be. It's the fact that when they design bosses in this game, they double down on making them go away. Like, the bosses don't fight you. Actually, I think if you actually cut out all the time you spend chasing after a boss, it's going to be like half the length of the fight, because all you do is chase after them and you get hit because you do something while chasing after them, which is a problem. And I didn't realize that when fighting Sigrun, because I feel like Sigrun is chasing after you because she wants to kill you, right? So you always sweaty because you know Sigrun is coming after you, but Gna is going away from you, which is very different. Like, it's so different. And actually, I think that King Kraki is harder to deal with than Gna, mostly because he takes running away to a whole new level. That guy, he has mastered the get the fuck out of jutsu. Like, every time you get close to him, he's out, and he has a lot of health. So it's not the fact that they are strong or they have moves which are hard to predict. No, it's just that they're full of shit. Basically, in a nutshell, they're full of shit. So long story short, both queens are strong, and even though she is a worthy opponent, I mean, she's good, she's really good. I'm not saying she's just a nobody. No, Gna is actually very good, but compared to Sigrun, I think she wouldn't stand a chance. Like, she will have a good run, but eventually she will get destroyed, which makes Sigrun the ultimate, the almighty Valkyrie queen. It will be so nice to see this fight animated. Like, imagine Sigrun going against Gna, and both of them yelling like for Asgard and Valhalla. It's just going to go nuts. Anyway, I'm Jisoo. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know who you think is the hardest queen and why. Especially why. I think the why is more important than the who. And I'll see you soon. Bye bye.